Looks like we are live.
Yes, we are live. I just want to go live on Instagram also. So, okay. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. We are live on all the three channels, whatever is your preference. Thanks for joining us today. As you know, I have with me Miss Saloni Suri. Hi, Saloni.
Hi.
Thanks for joining
Thank you
us.
for having me. Thank you. So happy to
So,
be here today to share with all your followers everywhere.
Thank you. We're so glad that you are with us today and also facilitating the Above and Beyond Leadership Program for with Mentor Park. The Just to brief you some bit about the program, the program is for women leaders who have led their teams, have driven change. But we all know that when getting into the boardrooms or when getting into the next level of promotions or into leadership positions, that's where we are not able to move. And our objective is to get as many people into that cadre. So we did not really come up with this program just like that. We actually did a listening exercise. We sat down with senior women leaders. Around 50, 60 plus women leaders answered our survey. And the insights that we got was while they are very happy with their career, in fact, 90% of them said that they're very happy with their career, but they said they don't know if they are ready for the next level. 75% of them responded saying that they do not have the mentors and sponsors within their organization to support them. With insights like this, we designed this program. And then we started looking out for people who are supporters of women. And that's where Saloni and Soumya kind of partnered with us and said, okay, yes, I'm ready to support you for the women cause. So this is by the woman, for the woman. And uh, as you say, you know, the experience that we get is what we're going to share with you. So over to you, Saloni, just for a brief introduction, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to partner with Mentor Park for the Above and Beyond program that's happening on May 9th and 10th, as you can see on your screens. It's happening in Kurram, Mumbai. And I'm really looking forward to sharing with the participants who will attend, who are attending personally, as well as those who are being sponsored by the corporates in which they work. And the design of this program is, I think, the reason why I wanted to partner with Valerie to be able to do this program is because I've been working for over 32 years and it's been a long time. And the way I started and the way I am here today, it's been a journey of sorts. And I have seen and worked with women across corporates, across organizations, across different skills. I was a very little person at 24 when I started working. I changed careers, learned on the go, and moved countries with my husband. Helped him to ascend his corporate ladder while I was sitting in trying to find a career for myself. And I think a very key factor of a key differentiator of the Above and Beyond program is the multitude of different women leaders who are coming together, and women facilitators like Valerie, like Soumya, like myself. And each of us brings to the table a very rich experience. And how women interpret it for across the board is actually different. And every facilitator tells stories which are theirs. And my story is very different from Valerie's. Valerie's story is very different from Samya's. And together, I think we bring close to about 50, 60 years of experience on the table. And we often connect through stories. We often believe stories. I have close to 5,000 stories in my head of people that I have coached over the last few years, women leaders who I have worked with after in so many years, as you too have, Valerie, right? And where
Yes.
all have you worked, Valerie? You've worked across the board in HR functions, right?
Yes, so I have a experience of 26 years plus in NLD, and yes, this is something that I have to learn how to sell myself. You know, so and yes, I
Celebrate
have.
yourself. Celebrate yourself. We don't have to sell no nothing. We have to
Sure.
celebrate who we
Yes,
are, what we do, and be proud and confident about what we bring to the table, right?
Yes, thank you so much. I mean, yeah, it's been a learning experience. Worked across board with Cipla, with Tata Motors, with Mahindra, with G, and with a lot of consultancy organization. My last job was global head of learning for Cipla, and after that is what I started Mentor Park as an initiative to really nurture talent across the board.
Yeah.
During my stint, I had the, and I'm very proud of this. I have actually presented to Mr. Ratan Tata, Mr. Cyrus Mistry. I've had opportunity to work with great leaders, and all those leaders have added to my learning to who I am today.
Absolutely. So, so nice to hear that. Because I've always felt, that women find it very difficult to be able to celebrate who they are and what they bring to the table. And
Yes,
it is a learned skill. We have to learn how to be able to speak about ourselves with a little bit of warmth, with a little bit of grace, but also with strength. And that strength comes from inside. So, your question to me is, what is neuroscience coaching?
yeah,
Um, it took me a while to be able to say this two sentences, and today I'm able to say it very proudly. I'm a self taught coach. And what this really means is that I think I started studying neuroscience coaching when I was very, very small, right? My father was a yoga teacher. He taught me my first meditation when I was about 7 or 8 years old. And I have a very left brain, so I needed to understand the logic and science behind being able to take power of your mind. Manifestation, visualization, meditation. Why is it so important? How does it change your brain? And today we have pioneers like Dr. Richard Davidson who are actually telling us that, oh, meditation is one of the most powerful ways to be able to have control over the subconscious mind. Well, we already knew it. 5,000 years ago in our texts, we already knew this, which is why we were always talking about it. So for me, neuro coaching is where I was able to blend the neuroscience with spiritual wisdom. Because for me, both the worlds come together. Also, because I'm a very proud Indian, I have a lot of respect for the wisdom of the inner workings of the mind that exists within our systems that we developed, which
yes,
originated from our country. And
yes,
there is a lot of science which I personally needed to learn to be able to teach it, to be able to understand it, because rewiring your brain is a function of a clear mind. It's a function
yes,
of the subconscious mind. So
yes,
neurocoaching, to say it very simply, is understanding the inner engineering of the mind. How does it operate? What is it that actually spiritually you can put into your mind to be able to change and shift your mindset to become clear about what your goals are? Because when
yes,
we have clarity over our goals, we can take one step forward. Fear leaves the body. You hold on to the fear, it becomes a part of you. You hold on to procrastination, it becomes a part of you. You keep on overthinking, it becomes a part of you. Can all of these be changed? Of course they can. And that is what our brain changes till the day we die. That is what neuroplasticity is all about. So, but if you have to understand, how does my brain work? And I think that is what I specialize in teaching in a very simple, easy to understand format.
and if I have to ask you, how do you use this as a coaching technique, and especially for women leaders who are going to be part of the above and beyond cohort? So
Correct.
what
So
is your,
a lot of our work in the program is going to be, number one, we are going to understand what is our mind, how does it work, what is neuroplasticity, what is the role of neuroscience, how is it that we can actually change our mindset. We then get into understanding what our self-limiting beliefs are. Some of
wow,
us are aware of it, but we
yes,
don't know how to change it. What is the
yes,
language that the subconscious mind understands? Is
hmm,
change easy or is change hard? Change is very, very easy, correct? But we have an approach towards it, and our beliefs as we grow older and older, after the age of 35, men and women, we become our behaviors are memorized, and we become a set of memorized behaviors. After 35, it's even more difficult to be able to change because we have repeated something so often. There is a neural circuitry in the brain that remembers fear. It remembers a conversation that you had with your boss when you went for your review. Emotions are more powerful than logic. We know that
Yes.
because that is
Yes.
how the brain remembers it. So we are going to learn techniques. We are going to learn how does this work. Number two, what are the success parameters for me to be able to change? Number
Yeah.
three, what do I need to change? Number four, what are the tools that I need to be able to embrace my power? And I shine in my own light and I stand in my own power. We are going to learn how to do that.
Beautiful. Now that's very powerful, because unless you really understand your behaviors and go deeper into why you're doing what, uh, change is not possible. So while you say change is easy, it's not an easy thing to do. Uh, with that, I really want to ask you, with your so many years of experience, and you've kind of coached around 500 people plus, what is it that was your most challenging coaching assignment, and how did you really manage it?
So I think one of the most I can give you a example of a professional experience, and I think COVID was the hardest time. And this was a lady. She was part of a board of a private public sector company. She was the only woman on the board, and during COVID, her husband used to live in Delhi. She was in southern India, and she was the CFO of the company. So the decisions that she was taking worth crores and crores.
Yeah.
She moved to Delhi during COVID, and the fear factor that she had, that the entire board was against her and they were going to kick her out. She
Wow.
was convinced about it. And that is the kind of havoc COVID played in the minds of many men and women. And this is a lady with close to about 20, 22 years of experience that I'm talking about. And but it happened. It happened during COVID. We then started working on her mindset, and I asked her to repeat her wins to me. She
Wow.
started building a vocabulary of the wins that she had had. I helped her to get out of the victim mindset. I helped her to manage her imagination, which was absolutely running wild. Because I said, well, if you can imagine all of these scenarios of sabotage, let's imagine the other scenarios as well. And then she
Yes.
started creating best case scenarios. Okay, I'm going to do this. Let us see what happens. I'm going to do this. Let's see what happens. And slowly, slowly, she started gaining her confidence back because separation happened. Because all the other men who were on the board, they were in the city that they were in, and she was
Hmm.
in Delhi. Zoom
Yeah.
was something which was very new for us in those
Yeah.
days. And
Yeah.
2020 was not a year where we were used to having Zoom meetings all the time and being online like the way we are today. This was not the normal way that we did business. But
Yes.
we learned it. I learned it. It was so hard for me as well because I'm a corporate trainer. I am there in physically training people all the time. But in
Yes.
2020, my entire training business came to a halt. It was absolutely zero. I picked myself up within 4 days of the lockdown being announced. And I did not know what Instagram was. I did not know where the live button was. But I realized that it was time for me to give back. It was time for me to teach meditation to as many people as possible. And it was hard. I was fearful. I do not come from a generation where putting myself out there in the camera is easy for me.
Yes.
And but your purpose, your vision, your mission has to be very clear for yourself. And I
Yes.
think that is another very important thing that we are going to talk about during the time that we are going to spend together on 9th and 10th of May. And the
Yes.
biggest win for me was when, after about, I think, 3 or 4 months, she said that she sent me a message, and I still look at it many times. And she told me that, Coach, I had a wonderful Zoom board meeting today and it went fantastic,
Wow.
which means that she was able to minimize her fears, which she was actually creating. We go into
Yes.
self sabotage mode very
Yes.
often.
Yes.
And when we become aware that we are sabotaging ourselves by our thoughts, which
Hmm.
are imagined, if we can imagine all of the things that can go wrong, we can also imagine all the things that are going to go right. It is a
Absolutely.
two-way street. But the
Yes.
negativity bias in our brain is so strong. And I'll teach how it works, what are the ratios, how does one overcome that. And we're going to talk about that in the program. But the DMN, the default mode network, is definitely biased towards us being able to feel safe, to be survive, for us to survive. And we don't like risky environments, we don't like threatening environments, we have to protect ourselves. That's the way, that's the JD of the brain. Protect.
Yeah.
Fearful situation, you're going to get shot, run. But it
Yes.
is our job to be able to bypass that fear. And we're going to
Yes.
learn how to do that.
Awesome. Because, yeah, you've actually almost answered my next question, but just to we have that question, we'll put it out there. Is like, what all are you covering as part of the Above and Beyond Women Leadership Program?
Yeah, those are the
Is
few
there
things that I'm going to cover.
things
We are going
yeah.
to talk about it. And it is also a very experiential experience, which means that the cohort that will be present, I will be working with them on our session together individually as well. So while we'll work together as a group, we are going to
Yes.
share it. It's easier for women to be vulnerable. It is easier for women to be able to share where they are stuck. Men find it a little harder to be able to share their vulnerabilities, but women do have the desire to be able to, hey, I have this problem. And many marital spats are happening. Hey, listen, I'm telling you everything, why you're not listening to me?
Yes.
Women want to share. If they have a problem, they want to
Yes.
speak it out. Some do, some
Yes.
don't. I'm not generalizing it. But if I have to say, 80% of the women would like to share what is on their mind. It doesn't work the same for men because men's brain, women's brains, they are wired very differently. And when we are together in a group and we have shared issues, we don't feel alone, Valerie. We
Yes.
feel part of a community. We feel,
Absolutely.
this is not something that just I am struggling with. So I'm not the problem. There are others who also share my fears. So there is nothing wrong with me, right? Because most of the time we think, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. But when we are vulnerable, we'll create a circle of trust. We'll create,
Yes.
like I always say, what happens in my workshops stays in my workshops and finishes in my workshops, right? So, what happens
Absolutely.
in that room within the circle of trust that we'll create for each other? And
Yes.
it's important for us to be able to trust one another who is there. And that is how the community uh, is built, because we all have one thing in common. Everybody who comes for the Above and Beyond program is very clear. They are very clear that they can change, they can do better, they can
Yeah.
unlock their potential. There is so much more that exists inside each of us. Is my
Yeah.
light shining the brightest today? No, my light can shine brighter, and
Right.
it's going to continue to keep shining brighter till the end of time. All of us are work in progress, Valerie. We are not done. There is no woman leader, no male leader who can say, oh, I've done it all. Oh, I've arrived. No, we have never arrived. Never. Today we are being hit by what all is happening in AI, and we have to learn. We have to learn. We have to learn prompt engineering. We have to learn how to use ChatGPT. None of us have studied it in college, right? So, what is a growth mindset? In the Above and Beyond program, all the women who are going to come, they all have a growth mindset, Valerie. They know
Absolutely.
they can be better. They know
Yes.
they have more to contribute. They know they have more to learn. So I
Yes.
think, and when you have women together who have a growth mindset,
Yes.
the amplification of the learnings. And because the program is designed not as a one way monologue, which is not that I teach and you listen. No,
Yes.
I teach, you ask questions. So if you have a curious mindset, all the women who are coming from the program, you come with a mindset where you ask questions. Hey,
Absolutely.
you push me to the limit where you say, no, tell me how this works. Find me
Yeah.
the solution. Give me the answer. And those are the kind of workshops which I really love to do because the women are curious. They know there's another way,
Yeah.
and they push me to find the other way. Hey, this is where I get stuck. This is what I need to do. Will this work for me? Is this going to work for me? Can I try this? And so you're experimental with your own potential. And when you become experimental with your own potential, you begin to shine. You begin to take a risk. You are done playing safe and you are like, yes, I have. There's so many times women, I'm sure, will echo with this feeling where you're sitting in a meeting, your boss is asking you a question, the answer is in your mind, but you don't say it at the right time. You're not
Yes.
just seeing it. It's there. It's happened to me so many times in my younger days. And then there is this other sprightly young man or a sprightly young woman who says the exact same thing. And I'm like, shit, I was thinking of that. Why didn't I
Yeah.
say it? Why didn't I say it?
Right. No,
Right?
absolutely. I think it's important that we really understand what our challenges are, because the part of the Woman Leader program that we're going to do is about what each of us come with our challenges. Like somebody was having a conversation with me and they said, okay, are you talking about imposter syndromes? Are you talking about tall poppy? I said, these are references that you understand, that I understand, because we are in the HR background. A common person or a common woman who's going through these don't understand. I will understand what my problem is. So we're not going to be talking about imposter syndrome in the way that it is spoken about, it is but is going to be in context of you. So what are you feeling? What are your challenges? What are your problems? And that's what we are going to be talking about. In my experience, some of the top challenges that women leaders face today is really about standing up for themselves. When I'm surpassed for a promotion, I don't know how to manage it. I don't know how to get credit for my work that I have done. What has been your experience, Saloni? What are the top three challenges that you have experienced?
So I would say number one is courage.
Yeah.
And I have worked with so many women who lack courage to be able to speak at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And courage is something which is a learned skill.
Wow.
If you come from a family where your father, your brother, your mother were courageous people, they brought you up in a manner where your voice was heard and seen, the likelihood of you being able to repeat that in the corporate world is higher, right? So, your environment in which you grow up is so important to be able to find a voice for yourself, and that is courage.
Wow.
Number two is confidence.
Mm,
Confidence in your skill set.
mm.
You are just as good as any other person who is being considered for this position.
Yes.
Self confidence is a learned skill. Number
Okay.
three, self love.
Mm.
I stand in my own light and I shine in my own power. And nothing and nobody can minimize my light. Many women are taught you don't need to speak about how good you are. The other person across the board can see it. They will tell you.
Mm.
You do not need to wait for other people to see your light. If it
Yeah.
needs to shine, if they can't see it, you speak it. No, but they can see, no, how hard I'm working. No, they can't.
Or they
Stop
don't want to. Or they
Stop
don't want
waiting for people to find you.
Yes.
Nobody's looking for you.
Yes.
You have something to share, you go out there and speak it. You go out there and share it. Self promotion is looked down upon. Self ideas are looked down upon. So women need to learn how to be able to share their intellect, their courage, their confidence, and their love with the world.
Yeah.
Self branding today is a very important branding yourself. I
Yes.
have a thought, I have an opinion. This is how I feel about it.
Mm.
It needs courage, needs confidence, needs clarity. And when you're courageous, when you're confident, and when you're clear about what you are saying, you become unstoppable. And that is what I want women to learn in the Above and Beyond program with all of us for those 2 days.
Now, this is really awesome because one of the the practitioners and experts who are coming on day one immediately after your session is Miss Darshana Shah. She is the CMO of Aditya Birla Capital. While she's been doing a lot of branding for products, she was very excited to take a session on self branding and image consulting, saying that okay, how do you present yourself? How do you really show yourself up? So that's another session that we're going to have. So while we're going to rewire the brains with you, we're going to help have other people come into the session where they're going to give them the tools and techniques to really implement what you have rewired them for or they want
Correct.
to.
So, which is what makes this program a very holistic program, and which is why I love that we are all collaborating to one another with one another so that the experience that the participant has is wholesome, because there is only so much that I can teach, and this is my area of specialization. But when other women leaders come together, the participants, what they get is a holistic experience of understanding how they can take their power back. What are the tools? What are the mechanics? What are the steps that you need to take? Because when you never know, Valerie, what will work for a individual. Like I always say, I can teach you all of this. I can give you all the tools that you need. I can teach you all the techniques, but try it. See what will work for you. There is no one size that fits all. If anybody tells you, or any coach or any leader tells you, this is the way it is to be done, that's not the way it works. For everybody, what works is different. It's very different because all our brains are wired differently. But how
Yes.
is it that your gut intuition
Yeah.
will guide you? And
Yeah.
that is when your intuition becomes so powerful. And that's when a corporate woman leader says, you know what? I have a gut feeling. Let's just go ahead and take this decision.
Yeah.
She stands in her power. She's not looking for facts, she's not looking for data, but
Yes.
she's trusting her intuition. That intuition gets minimized by fear, right?
Awesome.
So
Now,
when you
I
move,
hear you talking a lot about fear. Is that something that you think people are really stops us?
of course, fear is real. Fear is very, very real. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being spoken about behind your back, fear of other people telling you who you are, the fear of death, the fear of loss, the fear of losing your parents, the fear of losing your children, the fear of you dying. These are all very, very real fears that all of us, we're going to face some of them in the
In,
workshop. That
in the
was,
yeah.
yes. डर के आगे जीत है, right? तो डर तो
Yes.
दिखना पड़ेगा.
That was a sellable moment. डर के आगे जीत है. Okay.
100%.
Yeah. So a lot of women leaders who are coming to us in the workshop are mid-career women leaders, and perhaps some of them are experiencing something called as a glass ceiling. What is your suggestion when somebody is not aware and perhaps is experiencing this glass ceiling?
Mm,
Have you coached somebody who has gone through it and that has impacted them?
yeah. So uh, I don't believe in it. I think a glass ceiling is absolute, what I call rules, which are bullshit rules, right? The glass ceiling is only in your head. It is an imaginary thing that you have created for yourself. If you believe in it, it is true for you. If you don't believe in it, It's not true for you. So the whole goal is to be able to understand, yes, the minute I have a glass ceiling is a label. I don't want any mid career, beginning career, full high fledged career woman becoming a victim to having or believing that there is a glass ceiling.
Yes.
It is our job to be able to blow it away.
Yes.
If you believe in it, it's true for you. If you don't believe in it, it's not true for you. And that is how you find courage. If you believe in it, you will find evidence that it is there because that is the way the brain works.
Yeah.
So I
And if
don't subscribe to this model of glass ceiling.
and if
There
it
is
if
no
it
glass ceiling for women, there is no glass ceiling for men. And ideally, I would. So, while one of you asked what is the suggestion that I gave to a lady who was experiencing the glass ceiling, I just told her to put her head down and start learning. Learn, learn, learn. And many times, the skill set that another person has, both of you are being considered for a promotion, and you feel you were victimized because you're a woman and you did not go up to the leadership position. But did you stop? Maybe it happened. Maybe you were a victim because of your sex. But if you believe in it, you will stay where you are, and that pattern is going to keep on repeating in your life again and again and again. But today
yes,
we have Alina Nair too,
yes,
the CEO of Chanel. She can also say, I never faced a glass ceiling. Well, if she believes it, I'm saying I would rather you believed what she said. I would rather you believed what Indra Nui said. Because there are enough and more examples of women across the board who have transcended the glass ceiling. Watch. What is it that they are doing?
yeah,
Which is where the role of mentors, which is where the role of an organization like yours, which is where the role of all of us who are coming
yes,
together to be able to share ideas
yes,
with women on the strategies that you can use. Because if you have a mentor who's telling you, yeah, this could happen in your organization because there is a glass ceiling, you will tend to believe it. And that person is a very wrong mentor for you, whether it's a man or a woman.
yes.
So, the
No,
potential to become the best version of yourself, the responsibility to be able to rise to the board table is yours.
absolutely.
And that happens when you learn. One lifetime is not enough to be able to learn how much there is in the outside world. It's not enough. There is no leader who can come and stand in front of me and say, yes, I know it all. We don't, Valerie. We've got to learn. Learning needs to be something that is so intrinsic to every corporate leader across the board. We are all work in progress. We're all learning machines. And when you have that kind of a mindset, there is nothing that can stop you because you are learning, you're growing. And when you learn,
Yes.
you grow. When you grow, you earn. So, learning, growing, earning, it all comes in one line together.
Right. No, so just to this is the right time that I should also share with you that Mr. Dheeraj Sinha and Mr. PR Ramesh are going to be in the session on day 2, where they're going to be talking about how do you even get spotted as a leader. So
Wow,
so the
that's
entire
nice. It's going to be
yeah,
fun.
yeah. So we thought,
I'm going to
let's
attend that session too.
welcome, because it's just hop skip and jump for you. So it's at the Quorum Club. So most welcome to come, because we thought let's get the CXOs in the room and ask them what do they see when they're spotting talent, when they're spotting future leaders. And this session should again tell them the practitioner's view of what leaders look at and how can they get spotted as
Wow,
a leader.
wow.
uh,
That'll be
this
fun.
yeah, that'll be fun. And I, while we've spoken so much about today, I really want to understand from you, what would you give an advice to your 20 years your younger self? Because I think that also shows what kind of learnings would you want her to have at that if you were there.
Yeah. So in those days, I wish I had more clarity about what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I don't think I had that. So I felt the clarity emerges along the way. And my only advice to my younger self is go deeper into understanding who you are and what you're here to do. We are born to answer these two questions. Who am I?
Yes.
What am I here to do? And
Yes.
if in this lifetime you can answer these two questions for yourself, and if you can build a vocabulary that
Hmm.
supports you on your journey for the rest of your life, I think
Yeah.
you're in a good place.
Awesome. And that's also the vision or the mission of Mentor Park is, really helping people learn from our experiences. So that's why we have set of mentors and coaches who share their experiences with young. Um, and the reason I started this, Saloni, just to tell you, is only because of this. Because I thought there were certain things that I've certain mistakes and certain things I should have not done. If somebody would have kind of told me, okay, well, this is not the right way to go. Uh, and that's learning from experiences is something that we really promote. And one of the sessions that Soumya is going to work on is how do you build a tribe. Soumya is the next other facilitator who's going to be in the session. She is a founder of Uru Connect. She works with us on a lot of design thinking and executive presence courses. So those are the one that she's going to really talk about. How do you really create a breakthrough mindset? How do you really go about in unwinding and unraveling things which are stopping you? And that session again is going to be very interesting. And incidentally, we are doing a live connect just like the way we're doing with Saloni today, tomorrow at 7 p.m. with her. So any of
Wow.
you who want to join in again, please jump on, and we will share the links soon. Now, just to bring this session to a closure, what are your parting words to people who are joined here? What do you think they should take back as an opportunity to attend this session?
Number one, I think you need to believe in who you can become. Stop other people telling you who you are. The minute you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. Write your own story in how you're going to contribute to this world, to your organization, through your skills, through your gifts and your blessings. Because all of us have those gifts and blessings.
Awesome. No, this is great session, Saloni, and I'm actually looking forward to sitting through your session and unwinding my brain, because a lot of things that you've spoken about, I need to overcome. I took the step of stepping out and starting this organization. It was, yes, the only thing that could have helped me to do that was overcome fear. But I'm now realizing that fear is not just one type. It could be multiple types of fear that might be stopping you. So I'm going to be one of the participants to the program, and we're hoping many more will come. Yeah. And with
Thank you.
this, thank you so much. And thanks a lot for partnering with us and making this a reality. Really appreciate. Thank you so much.
My
God bless.
pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.